Can we clap one more time as my tall people in the room turn the lights on? There you go. Come on, 5'4". You missed the first one. Okay. Now, if you've really, truly gave that video heart, what you're looking at, you're looking inside yourself first. How did that girl represent you? How did that girl, for the young men, if that was a boy, how did he represent you? Everything that young lady went through is something that every single person of every single generation, of every single family, including your mothers and your fathers, have gone through. Everybody, your bishops, your pastors, your preachers, your friends, everyone has gone through that. The key points of that, and then I'm calling up the next person, is this. She started off following the pattern of Jesus. That represents prayer, praise, worship, going to church, going to Sunday school, singing in the praise team, listening to the sermons. She started off having a relationship with Jesus. Every time she moved in the movement of Jesus, that's just representing that she was following the path of Jesus Christ. But what happened? All it took was one little taste of temptation to influence an entire lifetime of serving Jesus to get you to follow a different path. There's so many examples that can be used to represent what she went through. In the video, they use money. They use, for the young ladies, they use boys. For the boys, they use girls. They used alcohol. Did anyone notice after so much of doing it her way that it ended up with her trying to cut herself? Anyone see that? That's real. That's real. More people than you think in your classroom and more people than you think sitting in a church have been through that. You don't know what preacher you see on YouTube has already been there. You don't know which one of your parents or your friends' parents have already been there. You don't know which person sitting next to you now has already been there. Somebody in here tried to swallow pills. Somebody in here tried to commit suicide. Somebody in here may have been or is cutting themselves. This is why that video is so important. For the younger one, anyone that's K through 8, raise your hand. Okay. It'll be a lot harder to find it in that age group, but it does exist. Somebody in your age group has gone through a lot of that, especially if they go in and out of foster care and group homes or parents just got divorced, you name it. High school, raise your hand. All high school, all high school. You know it exists in high school. Okay, so the way that it ended was Jesus, the entire time that we as individuals are caught doing our own thing, he's calling us the whole time. The whole time you're doing it your way. Did you hear that? Your way. The way, because you know, adults, we don't know nothing. But when you're doing it your way, Jesus is calling the whole time, waving at you, asking where you went. And then finally, when you realize that your way is going to end in destruction, and it will. When you do it outside of the Bible way, it will 100% end in destruction. 100%. No question about it. Every adult, who is 25 and older, raise your hand. 25 and older. Okay, so we know it, don't we, Chevy? It's going to end in destruction, isn't it? Okay, I've tried things my way. It didn't work. I've tried it. Okay, I used to, and, none of that? Okay, well, I had my share of stuff. But the point is when I tried it my way, it didn't work. Okay, now some of y'all missed my dating stories from last Wednesday, so y'all got to catch them next time around. I got some good ones. But the point is, the fact is that you never know who's going through it. So the person I'm calling up now, just before I call up, I want to draw folks to this. The book of Luke, chapter 15, verse 32. This is the scripture they used to highlight the entire skit you just saw. We must celebrate and rejoice. Now you know why we clap every time someone comes up here. Do you see why we do that now? We must celebrate and rejoice because your brother, also your sister, meaning who you see in this church, was dead. Not dead in a casket, not dead in the hospital where the pulse of the heart's no longer reading, was dead to Christ. When you're dead to Christ, you have no life. You're living the life you want to. You're doing the pleasures you want to. But the whole time you're doing that, right? I'm trying not to get to my next lesson, which is coming after the person comes up, but you're dead. You don't pray, you're dead. Go ahead. Believe it or not, you're dead. You don't worship Christ, you're dead. You don't sing his praises, you're dead. You don't live for Jesus, you're dead. You do it your way, you're dead. But we celebrate and rejoice because he who was dead, or she, and has come to life again. He was lost and has now been found. You don't have life until you let Jesus in. Okay? I